What to do if the client doesn't get the outcome they were looking for? How do we know the client hasn't got the outcome they were looking for? Because from my mind, before you even start the session, you need to have an understanding of what the problem is and what the client's looking for. An obvious example, somebody comes to you for weight loss and they want to lose 10 kilos over the next 3 months. I've got no idea whether that's actually physically possible, but let's use that as an example. Client comes to you, I want to lose weight and I want to lose 10 kilos within 3 months for XYZ reasons. Now, that is a very clear expectation from your client. They've come to you with a specific issue and they want to get it sorted. As an ACH practitioner, yes, of course, we need to get to the root cause of why that person's been eating so much and why they're not exercising. And also, what is the reason for wanting to lose that amount of weight in that amount of time? The only possibility that I can see is that the client in 3 months doesn't lose that 10 kilos. If you've done a good job as an ACH practitioner, you would have figured out all the stuff behind the initial problem, behind the initial desire from the client, and help them remove all of the unwanted baggage, helping your client to find the root cause of what created the overeating period in the first place and the lack of exercise, and then you can move from there. If in 3 months' time the client hasn't lost the weight and they're upset, you need to talk to that client and go, okay, what's happened between this session and today? And then figure out what didn't work, what didn't happen. Had you done sufficient testing at the end of the first or second session? Had you removed all of the knots? Had you kind of made sure that there was nothing that was going to get this client eating again? Was there a completely separate issue that was encouraging them to eat that we missed? Or maybe the client didn't declare that issue right at the start. This is what you need to find out and then work with the client until they have lost the weight. When you're doing the strategy call, when you're working with the client, you need to make sure that you are clear on what the client's problem is that they're presenting. And then you need to make sure that you find the root cause and clear up any little knots, any little blockages, any little maybe, shoulds, perhaps, I think, I don't know, I'll have to wait, and so on. Those all indicate that there is a knot, that they're still not convinced that the work you've done together is going to take hold and is going to work. Do this, and you will find that you'll get less and less issues from a client because they think that they haven't achieved the desired outcome. Now, one way this could happen is that they came to you with problem A and they say, well, problem B hasn't been fixed. Well, that's two separate things. And that you need to discuss with your client during the strategy call and also perhaps at the start of the first session. They can't come back to you and go, yeah, I've lost all the weight, Paul, that's fabulous, but this hasn't happened. Well, I'm really sorry, Mrs. Client, but you didn't mention this. So how can I work on this if we didn't talk about it? We'll have to start a separate session to work on this thing. Do the work properly up front, and it's highly unlikely that you'll have a client coming back to you who is disappointed with the outcome.